All right, y'all. I got a few minutes before I hit my next job. So let's get into episode 2 of living on less than $1,000 a month. And in this episode, I'm going to be breaking down basically my expense breakdown so that you can see what my expenses were. So hang tight. All right, so let's get into it because I know a lot of y'all are like, how the hell she do that? So I'm going to explain to you guys because I know that is the number one thing that y'all are wanting to know. So I'm going to explain to you how I was able to keep my expenses low. Now, I want to be clear about something because some months my budget was close to $1,000, but on average and realistically, my budget is actually closer to $1,300. But it is still lower than most people, right? Would you think that was right? But you see, that's what made the difference for me. That's what helped me through this. And I had to get creative with a lot of things in order to make this work for me. You see, when I was doing this, I wasn't trying to hit a perfect number or anything. I was just trying to do something different than I had done before. So all of my decisions was about being intentional about my spending, right? Because I wanted more freedom and less stress. So let's just talk about housing for a moment because that is the biggest expense for a lot of people, including myself, right? So here's how I got creative with my rent. As far as my rent goes, instead of paying full rent, I became the superintendent of my building, therefore reducing my rent drastically because in exchange, I do maintenance tasks around the house. I do shoveling snow. I do cutting grass, different yard work, and other little tasks around the house in order to keep my reduced rent. Now, this right here alone saved me and my family hundreds of dollars a month. So I'm just going to run through a quick breakdown of my expenses, all right? So I got it right here, so I'm going to read it off. My housing, again, we started with housing. So my housing, again, that was one of the biggest expense, but my housing was reduced because I'm an on-site superintendent. Now, as far as internet concerned, I pay about $70 a month for internet because I don't keep cable, I just keep a few streaming services. Now, car expenses, like my car insurance, I pay about $70 in car insurance per month. And the best thing about my car expenses is I was a mechanic for 15 years. So I do all the repairs and maintenance myself. Plus, I don't have a car payment. I refuse to get another car payment. So let's jump into cell phone bill real quick. I pay about $120 a month for my cell phone. Yes, that's a little bit expensive, but I've got a couple of lines on there and I use it for business. So I'm okay with that for now, but I am trying to find ways to be able to reduce that as well. Now, groceries is a big one because the way food prices are right now, it is crazy. But the way me and my family have been able to tackle keeping our grocery bill low, we spend about $100 a month on groceries. Don't tell nobody, but we do. But the way we've been able to keep our expenses low, we garden. We grow our own food, our own fruits, vegetables, potatoes, things like that. We grow those things. Therefore, we don't have to go to the grocery store and pay those high prices. We go out to the woods, we forage, we bring back mushrooms, we preserve food for when times are tough, and we can just go to our pantry, so we don't have to, go out, and worry about those things, right? We cook at home more, so we don't go out to eat. We don't, none of that stuff impresses us, because one thing, and this is a whole nother story in itself, is that we like to know where our food came from. Anyway, and the last bit on groceries is, we like to know where our food come from. But when we do go to the grocery store to shop, we shop smart. We shop sales, and then if we got a good sale going on, we're buying a lot of it and we're preserving that stuff. Now let's jump into gas expense. To be honest with you, my gas expense is pretty low because I only go out in the field on average about twice a week. So, if that. So my gas expense runs about $75 to $100 per month. But what keeps my gas expense low, again, I don't go out very often. I do a lot of work on the computer with my QC work, so I've planned my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm planning my life on how I want to spend my days, okay? And then the other way that I save on gas is I make sure I route smart. If I've got, like this morning, I've got a couple of jobs to do, right? They are all both in the same area. So I schedule those jobs on the same day so that I won't have to be running back and forth, right? So if you lump your jobs together, you can save that gas expense. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about is subscriptions. I spend about $20 to $50 on subscription services, but I only keep what I actually use, and I get rid of everything else. But here's the other thing about subscription services, right? If it's something that I want to see or entertain myself or something that I want to do, guess what? I might order that subscription service for a month. I'm gonna use it to my benefit, and then I'm getting rid of it when I'm done with it because I don't need it. Why allow it to sit there and continue on sucking money out of my bank account? Most of these companies are going to allow you to resubscribe anyway. So what's the point of holding on to it if you're not using it? I just want to give you a perspective of the things that goes on in my brain, right? So anyway, making these intentional choices to live this way, it wasn't about me living on a strict budget or anything. It was really more about me making these intentional choices for my life. It was something that actually helped me feel empowered because a lot of people thought I was feeling deprived, but it made me feel empowered because I felt more in control of my life and my time. You see, here's the deal. I'm not saying everybody has to live this way because everybody's situation is going to be different. My numbers will look different from your numbers, right? The point that I'm trying to drive home here is this. We have to start taking control of our spending and aligning our finances with our priorities. And sometimes it takes sitting down and thinking to yourself, what are my real priorities in life? What can I put my money towards? What's important to me? Anyway, guys, I had to record this quick video. I got to get to my next job, but the thing that I want to leave you with is if there's some area in your life that you think that you could cut back on or could adjust, what would it be in order for you to see that financial freedom that you are wanting to see? In the next video, I'm going to be talking all about field inspections and how it actually helped me to create that flexible income to, live this type of lifestyle. Now, I want to be clear. This is a lifestyle that I'm choosing. So you have to be clear on the lifestyle that you choose for your life. So I'm going to get ready to roll. As always, y'all know the deal. It's our time to be free. Let's go.